And just like that, we all live. This your dude, Uncle Leroy. Don't say the Leroy without the Junior. Man, look, everyone's been asking me for all these questions, and you had to be like under a rock in the middle of nowhere to know that, hey, Sports Talk with Friends then hooked up with Standing Ovations Transportation. They've been our business spotlight of the weekend. We finally was able to catch up and get an opportunity to speak with Mr. Domingo Dillon from the owner of Standing Ovation. So, where are you calling in from? Knock, knock.
Domingo Dillon here.
All right, can you hear me? How's it going?
I lost your audio.
Uh-oh, that is not good. That is not good. Testing, can you hear me? Can our viewer, are you able to hear me? Can you comment if you can hear me? Are you able testing again? Let's see here. It might be on my end. All right, let's try this. Yo. Okay, yeah, I don't think that's me. And you're not able to hear me? Okay, dokily, okily, dokily. All right, so definitely stand back. We're gonna try this again. So we're gonna hold on. All right, so all right, look, stay tuned because this is dude Uncle Leroy. Don't say the Leroy without the Junior, and we're having technical difficulties. I don't know why, but this is Domingo dealing with Standing Ovation, and definitely get your questions ready for our day trip to Mardi Gras in New Orleans. So we'll be right back. All right, we are back right now. So were you able to
Yeah,
get
now
those
I can
kinks?
hear you.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There we go.
This is
Great,
weird.
great, great. So, all right. So, what is what we're gonna do? We're gonna rewind, play. Hey, this your dude, Uncle Leroy. Don't say the Leroy without the Junior. And we all live today with our Spotlight Business of the Week, Standing Ovation Transportation LLC. So they mean business. And today, hanging out with me is Mr. Domingo Dillon, the owner of Standing Ovation Transportation. Thanks for hanging out with me, man.
Hey, not a problem. Anytime.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So, where you calling in from?
Right now, I'm in New Orleans.
Oh, you ain't asked me for a hood pass, sir. Don't go out. Don't go in the 7-Eleven. Cool, cool, cool. But definitely want to get let our viewers know. So, there's been a lot of questions being asked about, hey, what's going on with the day trip? Give us some more details, and you can actually comment your questions right there, and they'll pop up below. We can actually ask Mr. Domingo, excuse me, the actual questions. He can answer them for you. So, you calling in from New Orleans? What you doing down
Yeah,
there? Huh?
I told you I was. Oh, I forgot. I mentioned the other day. Actually, starting a whole nother division down here in New Orleans. New Orleans is on a growth pattern like never before, and so I want to be ahead of it than behind it. And so, starting up a whole nother chapter down here in New Orleans, near the airport here.
Okay. Wow. All right. That's impressive. It's hard to get a spot around there. Like I can't even get a parking spot out there by the airport without getting arrested. So or a ticket. So
Yeah. Well, the good part is with the invention of the new airport, and it finally opened in November the 7th. It's rocking and rolling, and the new airport is spectacular. If you haven't had an opportunity to fly into it,
wow.
you're in for a treat. So.
I remember seeing some articles like a couple years, last year about the renovation. So they've actually finished it.
They have. So they didn't do a renovation. They actually built a brand new airport.
Oh
So if you
wow.
fly into New Orleans, it's on the opposite side of where the previous one was. The other one is just closed down. But it's a brand new airport from the ground up. It's about 2 or 3 years behind, but it's finally open. But it is a sight to see, and you would be in for a treat. Great restaurants, over 40, 45 different vendors.
Wow.
They've done a great job, finally.
I'm not used to hearing great and job with anything New Orleans. So, what I'm saying? Pardon me if I relish in this right now, but
Well, trust me, especially for those of you who are natives of this location, it was a long time coming. It's the same square footage as the other one, but the design is spectacular. They did a good blend between local and national brands when it came to all the vendors and the live entertainment. It's a great
wow.
airport to fly in and out of, and easy too.
Oh wow. So wow, that's cool. For people that don't know, one thing about New Orleans, we have like immense culture, definitely great food, great atmosphere, great time, and great music. So what made you
And
like,
great drinks.
hey, that's what I'm talking about. It's happy hour somewhere. But
Oh yes.
so what made you standing ovation? Like how did you come up with that?
Well, years ago, I was in the transportation. I've been in transportation 20 years now, 20 years this year. And so I've been in the charter bus business, driven 18 wheelers, everything from a 18 wheeler to a taxi. I've driven it. And so getting into the transportation business, I always wanted to be in on the owner side of things. And after dealing with several different charter companies in the DFW area, and liking the business, liking the money side of it, and that, but not liking the employers themselves.
Mm.
I want to get in on the owner side of things, and so that's what I did 5 years ago. Got in on the owner side of things.
Wow, that's very impressive. That's very impressive. So, one thing about transportation, it's steadily evolving. And so, how are you staying above the curve? Because, they got Uber and all these other little, like
Yeah.
Megabus and all these other different ventures. So, what separates you from, the norm?
Well, the good part is that in 2013 is when Uber came into the DFW market, and it nearly decimated the black car business.
Hmm.
So the good part about that is, and I did a little bit of Uber in the beginning. That's how I learned the DFW area, because I was new from Detroit. And so I had
Oh,
moved, yeah, I just moved to the DFW back in 2012. Uber came in 2013. So
mm,
for my way to learn the area was actually through Uber as I worked a daytime
nice.
job. Um, but learning that business taught me a lot. And it showed me, especially in the DFW area, the disposable income that DFW has.
Hmm.
When you would get surges with Uber, and fare would be 300 and 400 bucks, and they wouldn't bite. They wouldn't balk up against it at all. I mean, they pay it,
Hmm.
and
Right.
pay good tips on top of it. And you're like, something's not right. You can take a taxi for 100 bucks, and you're gonna pay three or
Right.
400. But it showed me right then and there, they didn't give a flying flip about the car or being with taxis. They wanted good customer service, a clean
Right.
vehicle, and be honest, they wanted English speaking. And that's
Facts.
what I gave them back then. But seeing that they had so much disposable income in DFW, but they were really decimating the black car system. So I had to go
Mhm.
above and beyond, and that's when we got into the busing.
Ah.
And that's where the money is. Now, they've not gotten into the busing, and I pray that they don't no time soon. But that's where a lot of the sedan companies had to get into busing at that point. And your
Ah.
executive coaches, not just a regular bus like a Greyhound, but the same type. But you're talking black leather interior, wood grain floors.
Ooh!
Yeah. So
Pimpin' since been pimping since been pimping.
they had to really step their game up so that they wouldn't be the next Greyhound. And they had to offer a lot more of express and a lot of more what we call a la carte and
Hmm.
concierge type services. So yeah.
Well, one thing about that, because I was impacted by the transportation and this new Uber technology because I had to actually create some maps, some apps, and some
Mm-hmm.
websites that utilize that Uber technology, to whereas just
Mm-hmm.
GPS location. But we're about to get right into Mardi Gras.
Hey, Mardi
Can't
Gras is
wait.
gonna be great, man. Man, this is our third year of doing Mardi Gras. So the concept behind Mardi Gras
Shout out to
was
you, Shots, man.
the concept behind it was when Mardi Gras came, a lot of people had never gone from the DFW area. They always wanted to go, but they didn't have a lot of time to get off work. They didn't have a lot of money to rent hotel rooms. And so we came up with this creative idea of just doing what we call a day tripper, where they would
Okay.
literally, we would put on sale for, normally it was $150, and we still go up to that level, but right now we have it on sale for $125 round trip. But a day tripper is where we actually pick up the 2 locations in the DFW area on Saturday, February the 22nd. And we pick up in Grand Prairie and also in the DFW Dallas area,
Dallas.
and then do an express bus straight to New Orleans. We drop off at the Harrah's Casino. We'll get there that Saturday morning, about 8 or 9 in the morning, depending upon how many stops we have to make. But normally we only make a stop or so for the coach operator to stretch his legs. But other than that, it's an express bus. We drop you off at the Harrah's Casino. You're free to hang out on Bourbon Street and do the Mardi Gras parades, or just go eat, hang out in Harrah's Casino, whatever you want to do for the entire day. And then Sunday about 1 o'clock in the morning, we reboard and head straight back to Dallas.
Wow, just like that. And I got to say, I actually made the Essence trip. So, and one thing to the to your Mardi Gras point, there's a lot of people, especially in the Dallas area, outside New Orleans, they've never experienced true Mardi Gras. So they'd be like, oh, they might have a Mardi Gras parade here, or might go to Lafayette for a Mardi Gras, or might have something in Houston, but there is no experience like the New Orleans Mardi Gras. So, that is a great idea to actually have someone going down there. But me being a cognac connoisseur, can I bring drinks? That's what I want to know.
That's the other unique part about our trips. All of our trips are BYOB. Every single one of them. And the good thing is you bring your own drinks. We bring the fixings, the cranberry juice, the Pepsi, Coke, the ice, the cups, even a little bit of snacks. And you bring your own drinks. And that's unusual because a lot of motor carriers, they just cringe when you say alcohol on their buses. Not that it's against the law, it's actually lawful. It's just they don't want the bothersome of it. But one thing about us is that we have no problem with putting people off buses. So you can get inebriated if you want to, but my guys are about my size, so
you'll be doing like that outside the bus, huh? You'll be thumbing
it. My drivers are about my size, so we don't have no problem being off of it.
It looks like my dog. She needs transportation. I'll be right back. Hey, where you trying to go? Stop all that noise. So I'm about to say, Ken. So I had to get the dog. Dogs, don't know how to act. But one thing that was pretty cool is I get on bus. I've had charter bus rides before, and this is the bus driver. It's just like they're so non-interactive, non-approachable. But some of the bus drivers I came in contact with, they were very knowledgeable and they were approachable. They were talking, and your staff was amazing. Like I drink Crown with orange juice. Not many people has that type of exactly. And so I was like, excuse me, you got some orange juice? I was like, why, yes. I said, oh,
wow.
So. That was very cool. That was very cool. So you've been in the business for 20 years, the transportation business. So you got into motor coach, right?
Yeah, motor coaches.
So like you're in New Orleans doing what?
So
you have one in Dallas, right?
Right. So the connector is eventually what my goal is to have an express bus on a normal basis that will go between New Orleans and Dallas, and also New Orleans and Houston. Because there are a lot of the thing about Hurricane Katrina, a lot of people got displaced all over the country, and so Houston took a big brunt of New Orleanians, as well as Dallas did, and a lot of people would like to come back and forth more often, but between the flight fares and things like that, the good thing about our bus is that we've always wanted to create a culture of an experience, and unlike a Greyhound that stops pretty regularly throughout the route, which makes it an extremely long route.
Right.
Then the BYB factor, which most charters don't allow. And then the type of buses. All of our buses have charging stations. USB and 110-volt charging at every single seat. We just now put some satellite dishes on a lot of our buses to where you can watch satellite TV. They all have restrooms. Yeah. So it's stepping up to be beyond what was normally out there. You've got to go ahead of the curve and put more amenities on board, but yet don't let it tap into the price too much. So that's one of my angles. There's a lot of growth here in New Orleans. So again, I want to be ahead of it than behind it. And so hopefully within this year, we can create such a venue of going back and forth on a regular basis.
Wow. Wow. And, and that's great that you ironed out and you just, specifically pointed out who your target market is. Because, to your point, I'm from New Orleans. I was impacted by Katrina. And, one thing is, I definitely want more trips home. Like my granny, she wants to see me. But to your point, it's like I get a Greyhound. It's Weirdoville. You know what I'm saying? Like I got to get the weirdos and it has so many stops. So it just becomes a headache and I don't want to deal with it. So, with the flights, it's, they got the $50 flights with Southwest. But I got to get that like in 2019. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a realistic price. So
no, and that's the thing though. And a lot of people want to come back and experience the culture, but then go back to Dallas and go back to Houston. But to come hang out for the weekend and then go back, have that experience again on the bus and the Wi-Fi that's on the bus and things like that.
I want to say that.
So we have Wi-Fi on the buses and things. So no, we want it to be a real comfortable environment. All of our staff are very knowledgeable. They're very customer service friendly. And we go above and beyond because we want your business. And we understand that unless those tires are rolling, we're not making any money. Right. We're not making any money. That bus is just sitting there. And people don't understand the cost of a bus. But one motor coach is $7,000 a month just to sit. That's not insurance. That's not driver. That's not fuel. That's not insurance. That's not maintenance. That's just to have it sitting there the way you say, "Oh, I have a bus."
Oh, wow.
That's it. So they have to roll, and and my drivers are very aware of it. Those tires got to roll, and so we want to be able to maximize them as much as possible, and to keep them on the road as much as possible as well.
Understood. So, one thing talking about those tires rolling and the bus drivers, like I said, I had, this is continued business because I had the opportunity to experience, your bus, your transportation services on the trip to Essence. I brought my partner, my brother, D Black, we came down there. He enjoyed it. We both enjoyed it. And, it wasn't, right now with this world of technology, everything has to be a convenience factor. We met up, we went out there on I-20 because we met the bus in Grand Prairie at Walmart. So, a lot of people feel comfortable and safe in Walmart parking lot because they have security. So, one of the things that, was very impressive is that on the drive back, so it made one of your staff members made the decision like, hey, the bus driver was swerving and it's New Orleans. So he came home and he didn't get adequate sleeping. And the buses were pulled over. So, like, how confident do you have to be to make those type of decisions? And because, like you say, we had to pull over, the bus stopped moving. We had, we disbanded, we got all over. So, it was a controlled nightmare.
Yeah. The thing is that and that's the good part about having multiple staff on one bus. You have a driver, but then you have other folk, customer service agents right on the bus, and they can make those executive decisions. The good part about that particular trip is that they were able to get the driver off the road. That driver is no longer with my company.
Wow.
I'll let that be known now. No. And that was a very unfortunate situation. And that is not how we operate. What we've learned from that is to not send a native of New Orleans to his hometown, because instead of him getting sleep, he was hanging out with his family.
Right.
So we will no longer send a native with you back to New Orleans. And we didn't know that. I didn't know that previous to the trip, who was assigned to it. But it was an unfortunate situation. We got him off the road. He's no longer with my company. And hopefully with nobody else's company. But and it's unfortunate, though. Because we take customer service and we take safety top priority. And we have had 0 accidents, and I want to keep it 0 accidents. I have a family, and I want to go home to mine. We see the things with Kobe Bryant and his family right now. It's an unfortunate situation, and now kids are being raised without a dad. I have kids, and I wouldn't want that for mine. So I'm not gonna put somebody else through that.
Wow, thank you. Because hey, my daughter, she's 18. She'll get you if you heard her dad.
Mine will be 19 next month, so I understand.
Well, wow, and so that's what things happen. Like myself, I love adversity because I thrive through adversities. If you got to be foolish if you think you're going to do something and there's no adversity, you're living a dream.
Yeah.
So it was an unfortunate event, but you made you made a positive
Yeah.
out of that unfortunate event. You learned how not to do. You right the wrong, and that's what separate like from here to here.
Yeah.
Because some people they stop at adversities. Some people push through, and that's what you did. And
Right.
so that proved to be your model: customer service,
Yeah.
safety. That's what is on. That's what was this on display. So
Yeah.
definitely shout out to you on that. Because that was very
I
impressive.
appreciate it. Well, I
Very.
appreciate it. But, what a lot of people don't understand is that unlike a bus driver, a lot of times when you're flying around, and I was just watching this on the news the other night, where they said over 53% of pilots fall asleep on planes. And you're like, wow. And normally it's okay. It's
What?
FAA okay because they have autopilot. But it's normally the rule is if one is asleep, the other one stays up.
Mm.
Unfortunately, both the pilot and the co-pilot ends up going to sleep. But they have autopilot and instruments. We can't afford that in this industry. Not yet. I
Right.
believe autopilot is coming soon to busing faster than we may think. They've already got some instruments out there that's helping drivers stay woke and vibrating of the seats and things like that, just like they
Oh,
have in
wow.
cars. Oh yeah, they have some great product out there. So it's just very expensive in the beginning, but eventually it'll come around.
Of course, that's how it is. Once the patents get released and they actually get someone to
Yeah,
make a cheaper version. So wow, that's pretty intuitive. So you've been
yeah.
in transportation, you've been here in the DFW, you expanded down to New Orleans. So for our viewers, what's some feedback, like some advice that you have?
As far as business or as far as
Period, in general.
ownership, ownership. You have to own your own. You have to own your own everything. Um, you see it in the record industry. You see it in all industries. The one thing that we lack in the Black community is ownership.
Mm,
And we can't wait for a 40 acre and a mule. It hadn't came yet. It's not going to come no time soon, if
fact.
ever. And so you have to have ownership. You don't like the way somebody treats you, create your own company. I
Mm,
think our biggest handicap is that we say we don't have the money. We don't have the money. You would be surprised how many grants and programs that are out there for Black owned businesses, especially
wow.
Black women owned businesses.
Facts.
And the thing is that clean up your credit. Your credit is your
Mm,
gateway. And if you clean up your personal credit, then you can get an LLC, which they don't coincide per se, but
mhm,
clean up your personal credit. Then you can get your LLC, and then you can start building business credit. What a lot of
mm,
people don't understand is that business credit is separate from your personal credit. They're two
mhm.
different entities.
Right.
And so you can go in somewhere to go buy a car with a 450 credit score and they're going to laugh you out the door or put you on some predatory lending
Right.
and get you a car that's $700 a month for 2013.
Right.
But business credit is totally different. It runs from 0 to 100. And so you just start slowly building up your business credit, and it's called
Mm,
trade lines. You get trade lines. So I would say business ownership is the key to everything. Own your
wow.
own business, even if you fail. So what? The good part about a business is file bankrupt. Start over. I kid you not.
That's
We
great
we we talked
advice.
about and I'm not going to get into politics, but people used to always talk about Donald Trump. And they
Hmm.
talk about how he fought all this bankruptcy. So how can he run a country if he runs
That's
bankruptcy?
smart.
Well, the difference is he's doing it with other people's money either way.
Exactly.
He never filed bankruptcy personally. He
Right.
filed bankruptcy business wise. And
Right.
that's what bankruptcy is created for, is in the case that things go wrong. Hell, I'm from Detroit. We have the largest municipal bankruptcy in the history of the country.
Wait, weren't y'all the only city that went filed bankrupt? I was like, what
We
the
did
hell?
file bankruptcy.
Right,
But
exactly.
now but what it did though is shed all that legacy cost. It
Mm,
shed all that foolishness, and now they're sitting on a stockpile of money, and the city is
mm.
coming back. So
Okay.
bankruptcy has its place. It's not nothing that you advocate that you're going to go through bankruptcy, but
Mhm.
if your business fails, you can file bankruptcy and start a whole nother company tomorrow.
Wow.
But it doesn't affect your personal.
Right. Right. So, hey, definitely for our viewers, we got Standing Ovation owner Domingo Dillon right here. So if y'all got any questions, business questions, if you got any questions about the Mardi Gras day trip that we getting ready to go on February 22nd. So I just told my grandma, she's like, "Oh, you coming down from New Orleans?" I said, "Yeah, I'll be on a day trip." She was like, "Ah, shucking now." I said, "Yeah, baby." But yeah, if y'all got any questions for us, you can definitely just comment down, and we'll address them, because that's what he came out to hang out with us for. Just to any questions you have, he can answer them. So before we wrap things up, man, it's been great. I definitely appreciate you coming out here. So was it difficult for you to tap into this Dallas market?
No, Dallas is a great, not just Dallas, Texas alone. So coming from Detroit, if you saw a Bentley, a Rolls Royce, or something of that nature, it was very rare. And if so, it was a Bishop or drug lord. I mean, I'll be, or I take it back, or third would be at the auto show of Detroit. Okay.
Right.
So when I moved to Texas and I was driving for DART, the bus company, City Transit, and to be in the Highland Parks and Plano, Richardson, and so on and so forth, to see a Bentley and a Rolls Royce is like seeing an old Ford Escort at this point, because they're plentiful. So that showed me that it was a lot of wealth. A lot of people don't know that when Uber, see, a lot of people bash Uber. I don't. Uber taught me a lot of stuff about business. And so if you looked at Uber, when Uber first came to market, they were offering all kinds of stuff. I remember they were offering a special deal where you would pay, I think it was like $50 to start, and then so much per mile to get a Bentley. They had some dealership program to where you could ride around in a Bentley or something. Then they did Uber helicopter, where they contracted with a helicopter company, and people would eat it up. It would sell within a matter of moments.
Wow.
That's the kind of wealth that the DFW and Texas has, being a business-friendly environment, a no state income tax state, which is where Detroit, it's state, city, and federal in Detroit.
Exactly.
So to come to a state that has no state income tax, it's a very business-friendly, very pro-growth environment. So no, Texas has a lot of opportunities for a lot of things, not just transportation, but the medical industry, the tech industry. There's a lot of people coming into Texas. I mean, you read the paper now, a lot of Californians are moving to Texas by the leaps and bounds.
Right. They're trying to say that this is one of the South Silicon Valley. So agree. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, wow. All right. So definitely got to ask, so what sport you follow?
Football all the way.
Okay. So who's your favorite team?
Detroit Lions. I'm gonna tell you right
now.
Oh
Lord! I had to run off.
I'll blow this interview up like never before. I'm gonna tell you right now. No matter where I live, whether I got an office in New Orleans or DFW or whatever, I'm telling you now, every team of Detroit are my teams. I am loyal to my city and my state. I'll never move back. But but no, I'm still true Detroit everything. Pistons, Lions, Tigers.
Oh, don't say Pistons. Shout out to you, Chop. We got El Chapo. He's an admin, definitely business partner, but he's a Detroit Pistons fan. So
okay, good deal. Yeah, I'm all Detroit, all about Motor City music. You name it, man. I'm still homegrown of Detroit. I don't forget my roots.
Nice. All right, so you've been down to New Orleans. So I'm gonna say, which one do you like, dirty rice or jambalaya?
Jambalaya.
Yeah. Beignets or elephant ears or funnel cakes?
I would say beignets.
Hey!
Yeah.
Seafood, is it seafood gumbo or filet gumbo?
I would say seafood gumbo.
Okay. You know the difference?
Yeah.
Let's say bon temps roulette. You know what I'm saying? You just got your true New Orleans bad, sir.
Yeah. I tell you, there's a place, I'm going to mess up this name. I say it all the time. I want to say Dragos.
Dragos.
Boom. I had oysters for the first time back in March.
What?
Yeah, man, come on. I'm from Detroit. We don't eat no oysters. we eat Mexican food and soul food, but we never touch no oysters. But no, I had them for the first time, charbroiled, and man, I fell in love with them. Man,
yes,
can't get enough of them, and fried alligator as well. So
Okay.
Yeah,
That's cool. That's cool. Because I tried. It's Oasis out here. It's out in Grand Prairie. It's right
yeah,
off the lake,
yeah,
Joe Pool Lake. I had them
yeah.
make me some charbroil one time when I went there. It was like, hey, you make? I'm like, I seen oysters. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Make me some charbroil. They weren't like New Orleans, but they tried.
Yeah, of course. I mean, of course. Uh, Tell me this: what they put in the margaritas down here?
Liquor.
Boy, I'm telling you, I've had there's some good daiquiri places in DFW, but I'm gonna tell you something. It is nothing like one here. I just had a 22 ounce, and it almost put me on my behind, man. I ain't gonna lie. I
Hey,
ain't gonna lie.
hey, see New
Whew.
Orleans. Look,
I think that's
we
gonna be
drank.
my next business. I think that's gonna be my next business venture.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, because Texas passed a law. See, people need to know laws. Texas passed a law where you can have drive-through daiquiri places,
Yes.
and so there's a daiquiri place here called the Original Daiquiri, I think it is. They're about to come to Dallas with 30 franchises. Um, but I think I
Oh
want to get
wow.
into that game.
Yes,
Yeah.
you know what? Because I did see a article on NOLA.com that a prominent New Orleans daiquiri is coming pretty much to take over.
Yeah,
So
they do. So I'm trying to get into that market. I'm telling you, especially if I can make them like they make them down here, they will put the locals around. Yeah, yeah.
exactly. So that's definitely the place to be to actually get the true ingredient where it's not watered down and it tastes like a snowball. But so yeah, we got someone
Exactly.
joining in off our Twitch channel. He's saying looks good. That looks good. Nice channel. Keep it going. Like your stream. Spotlight business standing ovation. So
Mm.
appreciate you. But we definitely thank the like. But can join our group Sports Talk with Friends, and you can look up standing ovation. And guess what? You can actually get on the bus with us, daddy. You know what I'm saying?
And not just this trip. I mean, we're planning on doing a trip for Essence. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to do another day tripper, but I'm also waiting on the vendor to call me back right now. I think I want to do the 4-day stay at an Airbnb down here and make it
Ah,
all inclusive, drinks and food included and transportation. So hopefully I'll have that up by this weekend. I was supposed to have it up by now, but trying to get this Airbnb to back down and let me have it as a party spot. So we'll see.
hey, it's gonna happen. Because one thing I know, no's come fast. Yes, it takes a little while. It takes a little
Yeah,
politics.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Definitely a lot of politicking down there.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Woo,
So,
they do
so
business different.
yes, like one guy, I was telling him, why do you think the governor, there's only one place, one state or city that has more governors in jail than Louisiana. Well, Louisiana, that's Chicago. You
Yeah.
know,
Well, y'all had governors
Illinois.
and mayors though.
Hey, don't be nobody asked you to air out our laundry, our dirty
But I was
laundry.
gonna say, I mean, don't feel bad. Yeah, and don't feel bad because our mayor went to jail too in Detroit, so he's got 20-something years too. So I think we're trying to get on the bandwagon. I don't know.
But yeah, it's definitely a lot of politics out there. But you seem like you're actually able to cut through the bureaucracy and get some
Yeah.
things done. So double salute to you, and we look forward to what's next. And any shout outs you got before we let you go?
Man, I just really appreciate this opportunity. You reached out to me the other day and told me about your experience with us. And man, I'm proud of what you're doing. I hope you continue to grow. Don't give up. This takes a long time to get growing, but eventually, as you continue to keep your integrity, keep it alive, keep it spicy, and put different business opportunities on here, it will grow. So just keep your integrity and keep your head up, man. This is a great opportunity for a lot of us.
Appreciate it. Same here. And one thing is, especially to sports talk with friends,
Hey,
football season is not too far away. We
hey, get
got
your
Wisconsin.
charter and bring them on down here to a New Orleans game, man. Come on down
We
and get some
got
Saints. I'm not a
hey.
Saints fan, but I'm a Green fan. I love greenbacks. I'll bring a
Exactly.
group anywhere from around the world. I don't care.
And that's what we're talking about. So definitely just want to spotlight that because everyone's knowing like, hey, how does this fit into this? Because the way it
Mm.
is hey, we love sports. We need a way to
Man,
get there.
and here's the thing: people don't understand. Transportation is multifaceted. I mean,
Oh,
transportation
good
is in
word.
everything. I mean, think about that. Transportation. I have a contract with Jerry Jones with the Cowboys. So what a lot of people don't realize is that Jerry Jones brings in a different group every single game, home
Mm,
game, from Boys and Girls Club or wounded veterans or wounded police officers, you name it. And they bring their families from all over the country, fly them
wow.
into Dallas and give them a weekend in Dallas, pay for the hotel and everything. My company has the contract to do the transportation for all of that. bring them to the game, the entire event. But fans fly in from all over the country and need a bus, you know? So whether you need a party bus, a limo, a charter bus, we have it from 27 passenger all the way up to 56 passenger,
Wow.
and
So
even party buses.
So what is your fleet? Like, what's all involved in your fleet? You got a
Oh
charter
man,
bus?
I got 7 charter buses. I have 27 passengers. I got 2 party buses.
Wow.
And then we got some Sprinter Mercedes-Benz vans, 13 passengers. Got 3 of those. So we got a mixed variety of whatever you may need. All of them are executive edition. Black leather seating, wood grain floors, flat screen TVs. Man, any event that you need, from a party bus to an executive vehicle, we have it.
Wow.
I'm ready.
I like that. That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So, any shout outs before we let you get up out of here? Anything else?
Nah, man, I'm great, man. I just want to push this trip out and have everybody come and experience it for themselves, to bring their own liquor. Make sure the ladies, you bring your good hair, and because we'll talk about you, we'll slide off. But no, this is a great time for people to get together, get their little gal pals, their little buddies together, pair up, come down, have a great time on the bus. It's a great time for people to enjoy. And don't, just because you might have to come solo, because a lot of times your friends say, yeah, girl, let's go. And then you find yourself by yourself. So don't have to worry about that. Jump on and join us. And you'll come solo, but I guarantee you'll meet a friend on that bus.
Real talk, because after that, I want to sound the life of the party, the party bus or the bus, but I met a lot of friends, and and it wasn't just, like I said, it wasn't weirdos and bums. So, it was actually people that's actually contributing citizens. So shout out to you and your following. And, till next time, this won't be the last time y'all see Domingo Dillon with Standing Ovation on LLC. But this is dude, Uncle Leroy. Don't say the Leroy without the Junior. Till next time, it's our business spotlight. Thanks, Domingo Dillon, for hanging out with us from Standing Ovation.
You too.
Wow.